Okay, so welcome to our special webinar today. It is the 26th of July in 2018. I'm Susie. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm actually one of the girls that is in the Juice Plus business, and one of my passion is everything to do with babies. So I'm a mum of three, and I thought, you know, it's a really, really special time when you're thinking about having a baby, or you are pregnant, or you are a mum already. Any of those journeys is such a special, precious time. And this event has been designed to give you the opportunity to hear some amazing special stories from our line of guest speakers. So we're going to hear the struggles, we're going to hear the triumph, we're going to hear the journey of fertility, pregnancy, breastfeeding, postnatal, and the importance that nutrition plays in all of this. So I actually would love, first of all, if you are coming on to this event, please put yourself on mute. And second of all, have a box of tissues ready. I am prepared because I know that from hearing those stories, I cry every single time. It's just really touching. So I really recommend that you get a box of tissues. Okay, so the first thing I would like to do is introduce you to Ali. Ali is going to actually talk a little bit more about our products that comes with these ladies' journeys and the importance that they play in their lives. So Ali, if you would like to take yourself off mute and share with us a little bit more about the products.
Hi. Hey, how you going?
Good. There you go. Oh, good. Okay, so take it away, doll.
Thanks, Susie. Thanks for letting me share. And I absolutely love the products that we get to use and what I get to share today. And I guess to tell you a little bit about me, my name's Ali, and I'm a mum to Leo, who recently turned 1. And I've been in our program and taking these products since I was about 36 weeks pregnant. Had I known about them sooner, I definitely would have been taking them sooner. But a few years ago, I was actually going through some health problems myself, and I had many signs and symptoms of having PCOS without actually being diagnosed with PCOS. But this led me to get more curious about my health and become a personal trainer for a number of years. I specialized in women's health alongside pre and postnatal, as many of my clients were trying to conceive. So what was interesting at this time in learning is that our health plays such a vital role pre-conception, and even at this stage can influence our baby's health. It's not just the mother that plays the role, but also the father's health and well-being at the time. So it was really interesting to learn this, and this is why it's so important for us to invest in our nutrition, for the benefit of not just us, but for our babies now and our babies in the future. But I also learned that our health is not just about getting one aspect right. Obviously, you know, if you want a holistic approach to ensure our well-being is considered from every angle, so whether it's exercise or nutrition or mindset, they all play such an important role. And this is really why I love the program that we have as well, because we have such a supportive community.
Can you give me my earplugs, please?
So many simple and healthy
Can you
recipes
please
for
get
the
them
whole
for me?
family.
I can't hear. They're probably in my room.
Sorry. We also have like exercise guidelines and mindfulness and self-care resources as well. And as you mentioned, Susie, we have an incredible support product called Juice Plus that goes alongside our program. We have 3 different products. Our capsules, which are literally fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. We have a vegan omega blend, and we also have a complete powder. So I'm going to give you a bit of insight into those today. They are literally the most researched nutraceutical product in the world, with over 35 medical study journals and heaps more on the way. Now, these are I'll show you, I've got them here. These are our premium capsules with close to 30 different varieties of fruits and vegetables that are non-GMO, herbicide and pesticide free. So they're better than organic. I like to think of these as having an extra 2 green smoothies a day without the mess or the fuss or the inconvenience. Now, current research tells us that in Australia, breastfeeding women need to consume 9 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. I don't know about you, but there's certainly days where I don't have time to shower, let alone eat that much food. So these are my little policy to bridge the gap between what I know I'm consuming and what I am not consuming. So I know I'm getting that extra nutrients into my body as well as through my milk and into my baby's body as well. Now, the second product that we have is a vegan complete powder. We have a chocolate flavor and a vanilla flavor. This is our macronutrients. So that's, carbs and proteins and fat, containing things like broccoli sprouts and spirulina and mushroom powder and pomegranate powder. And it's an absolute powerhouse. It helps you sustain your blood sugar levels throughout the day and keep your metabolism at peak, so it's burning effectively. This really is the best thing that's helping me keep on track throughout the day. So obviously, when you've got your hands full, when you're busy with the kids, it's so convenient. They come in those little sachets and I just pop them in, mix them up with some coconut milk, and they're incredible. So yeah, if you're running out the door first thing in the morning, you know that you're going to get all that nutrients into your system, which is incredible. Now, the third product we have is a plant-based omega, which still blows my mind because we know the importance of, doctors talk about fish oils and the importance of having, your omega-3s and omega-6s to help with longevity and brain health and joint care. But what I love about this product is that it doesn't come from fish. So it's not a fish oil, which is why it's a vegan product. It's where the fish actually get their oils. So it's coming from 6 different varieties of plant sources. We know it's important for our joints and our brain health, and it also helps with skin and beauty as well. There is loads of science that shows us how important the omegas are for longevity, but so many oils that we see on the market are actually created by having to heat the oil, having to heat the capsule to hold it all together. And in turn, this can actually turn the product rancid. So what I love about this company is that it is at the forefront of health technology and innovation. Therefore, we've created a way to seal the product and seal the oils without any heating so that they retain all of the goodness without getting, any oxidization or rancid put into them, which is amazing. So to be honest, I've got to say I don't have any health insurance. I don't have any life insurance, but this is where I choose to spend and invest my money into my health so that I know I'm getting a full nutrition supply for myself, for my baby, and my whole family. We also, speaking of families, have a Healthy Start program where we have these incredible, I've eaten quite a few of these, but they are for the kids as well. So they are a chewable gummy that is, again, fruits and vegetables. And you see many, many different gummies on the markets at the pharmacy, but our product is the only one that's not considered as a confectionery, which I absolutely love, and kids love them as well. So what I love about our program is that from ages 4 to up to 17, kids are sponsored for free. So for every adult that is taking our products, they also get a supply of the kids' chewables as part of a global health study program that's running. So that's a little bit about all of our products and why I love them and why I know that they are so important throughout every stage of life. When I was pregnant, I found it interesting that so many products that I was currently taking and different supplements, my nutritionist said, oh, you actually can't take this while you're pregnant, or you can't actually take this while you're breastfeeding. And I started to question, well, if I can't take them at the most vital part of creating another life, then why would I want to put them in my body any other time? And that's how I came across these products, because I found out that they are safe, literally from the womb to the tomb. You can have them throughout your entire life, and they're going to protect you for many, 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 many years. And I'm so excited to be on here today and hear about the incredible stories that I know these products have helped so many women, and I can't wait to hear them all. Thank you, Susie.
Thank you so much, Ali, for sharing. And that is one of the things that I'm really, really passionate about is how the products have helped so many people's lives, and we underestimate the power of fruit and veggies that does to our diet. So so it's I know that I started, on the products in my third pregnancy towards the end of it, because I didn't even knew that these exist in my first and second pregnancy. And if I had known that, I wouldn't have done it right at the start. And then the outcomes of my pregnancies and births might have been completely different. So, it's really amazing. Now, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the amazing stories. I mean, this is what this event was designed for, is to share these amazing stories. So we have our very first guest speaker, Casey. She's going to share with us a little bit about her pregnancy journey, and as well as the postnatal, and cover a bit on breastfeeding. So, Casey, would you like to take yourself off mute, please, and share with us your story?
Thank you so much, honey. And, welcome to all you guys who are tuning in today. We really appreciate your time. I think I would share this story to anyone, anytime, anywhere, but to have so many other incredible stories that we're going to hear today, I'm actually really excited about. So thank you so much, guys. My journey on this kind of started through my second pregnancy, and I'm like a lot of mums on here, I wish I knew about it sooner. I had a 3-year-old at home, and I was about 6 months into my second pregnancy, and I kind of went into it going, I know what to expect. This is going to be like it was the first time. I'm going to be tired. I know what it's like. And you know what? I don't know if it was because I already had a little one at home, or if it's just the fact that every pregnancy is different, but it knocked me so hard. I didn't realize how exhausting it would be. And just to go back to what a toll it takes on your body, I struggled with morning sickness from day one, and it went right through. And I mean, like, day, night, middle of the night, I literally walked around with a bucket. It was ridiculous. And because of that, I couldn't get anything in. So I was lucky to have toast and keep that down. My body was not getting what I knew it needed. And I'm one of those people who really does understand the importance of healthy eating, especially when it comes to, growing our babies. And I was devastated that I just couldn't put into my body what I knew it needed. And it was honestly taking a massive toll on myself and the way that I was feeling during my pregnancy. I felt like such a bad mum that I couldn't do the basics of what I knew was going to help not only me, but my child. I was really, really struggling. Not only that, the lack of sleep, I get incredibly bad aching backs during my time of the month. So when it comes to my pregnancy, it just escalates incredibly. So all the things that I would normally expect through my pregnancy just felt 10 times worse. And I just had a friend who said, I can see you're struggling. I know you are. And I couldn't get out to see people. I couldn't go to see them. Couldn't take my kids for a walk. Like, I was really, really down, and it was really playing so badly on my mind and my heart for my kids. And I just had a friend that says, I might have something, just take a look at it. And I almost instantly went, I won't be able to take this while I'm pregnant. Guaranteed there'll be something in it that I shouldn't be having while I'm pregnant, but I'll have a look anyway, just honestly, just to keep you quiet, I'll have a look, but I guarantee I'll find something in the first second that I shouldn't be having. And she actually gave me these little bottles to have a look at, and I turned them over and I was going, I know these ingredients. Like, I can read this list of things that are in these bottles. These are not things that I have to go and Google and find out what is it and what does it do. These were fruits and veggies and berries. And I was like, yeah, but what else is in it? And she goes, no, that's it. That's actually it. And I went, oh, okay. But what about the capsules? And she goes, no, they're vegan. And I'm going like, how have I not heard about a product like this? Like, why isn't everyone telling me about this? So I was just blown away. So I pretty much just went, what have I got to lose? Hoping that I would gain so much. And it was week 1, and I rang that friend and I said, why didn't you tell me sooner? And I'm just like, my first week, my energy rose, and it rose to a point that I wasn't desperately seeking a nap and finding any way possible to keep my 3-year-old quiet so that I could just lay down. I didn't feel like I had to ask everybody around me for help so I could just do simple things in my day. My energy level rose, and it was also sustainable. Like, you know, we're finished dinner and I'm still right to go and do a couple more things before we hit bedtime. I was just amazed. It helped me in those last few months of my pregnancy, to the point that my doctors, my midwives, were actually saying, like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be feeling this good. You're this far along. This is the point that you should be slowing down. This is a point you should be in bed more. You should be feeling heavier, more tired, more sore. And I was going, actually, I'm feeling better now, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, than I did pre-children. And I promise to you, like, that's probably the biggest thing for me, is I felt better pregnant with a 3-year-old than I did pre-children in, you know, my early 20s, because my body had never gotten this level of nutrients before. My body had never had this much support at a time that it so desperately needed it. And, you know, going forward with that, I had an incredible birth. I can be honest with this. I can't tell this story very openly to other people, but I had an amazing birth. I'm the mum that everyone hates, because my boy was born in 2 hours. He was incredibly healthy. My midwives were like, can we like take your placenta and go and show other people, because this is incredible. This is what they're supposed to look like. Like, and they were right into it. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. You just take that. But like, my recovery was amazing. I didn't think that I would be able to support my 2 boys at home just daily. My partner works away, so it really was me at home with the boys. We got a couple of days before he had to go back to work, and that was kind of it. So the little things, the support that I felt daily to do every single tiny thing that mums try and get done, I felt like I had almost like a supportive hand on my back, just going, you know, I'll get you through the day. I'll get you through the day. It was incredible. The other thing that I really wanted to touch on was my breastfeeding journey. With my first boy, I breastfed for 6 weeks and it broke my heart. That was it. I went and I remember walking in to get formula that day because I just couldn't. My milk wasn't keeping up. My just the whole idea of being a new mum and being so tired and kind of going through that, I was lost. And honestly, my body, my exhaustion, everything just was not there. I couldn't do it anymore. So I'll say that for my mental health at that point and my own sanity, I turned to formula and it broke my heart. That's the kind of mum I am. That they were one of my values. So I did it with my first boy, and honestly, I hated it. I really hated it. I missed the bond. I missed all of those things. My second bub, I kind of went into this going like, this might not happen. I might not be able to. And my body, I produced so much milk. Like, oh my God, I could have fed a couple babies, to be honest with you. And to have that support within my nutrition, I felt that mental clarity. I was getting better sleep, so I could tackle those midnight feeds, those every 5-minute feeds, those constant clusters of all day feeds. I felt as though I could take them on because my body was ready for it. I was supporting it. Those shakes, I used them in the middle of the night because, you know, you need to top your own body up before you can, you know, keep feeding and all those sorts of things. So I use these products every single day for the last almost 2 years, and I will never, ever, ever walk away from them because they were crucial to my body when I desperately needed them. And I just so wish that somebody had introduced them to me sooner. I have no idea if I've covered everything, Susie, but thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Casey. You definitely covered everything. And oh my God, like you almost got me like breaking into tears, because the way that you shared your story and the journey that you've been on, it felt like you were saying my story. I completely understand what you went through, and I put my kids on formula too. You know, I hated doing that because, like you, it was my value as well that I wanted to breastfeed. I knew what my babies were going to get, you know, through my breast milk, and the fact that I had to put them on formula, and it was heartbreaking. But, you know, with my daughter, I was able to breastfeed because of those capsules. So thank you so much for sharing your journey, darling. Okay, so we've got another amazing story to share with you. So Kate is going to share with us her journey, and I am really, really excited. for her. So, Kate, could you please take yourself off mute and share with us your journey, darling?
Hi, Susie. Hey, everyone. Casey, wow. I was trying to pull myself together to share hearing your story. Too bad for the girls who are sharing at the end. That'll be a mess. So I guess my story kind of started about 6.5 years ago. So my husband and I had just been engaged, and we were, in that blissful bubble of possibility and excitement for our future. And 2 weeks later, I woke up with the most excruciating pain I have ever felt. I couldn't walk. Michael picked me up in my pajamas, put me in the car, and we went straight to the hospital. And we found out later that day that I had severe endometriosis. And the reason for the pain was that I had a 10 centimeter ovarian cyst that was rupturing. And yes, 10 centimeters, that's big, right? And before that, I didn't know I had endometriosis. So it was a pretty crazy day. Like I said, we were in this excitement bubble, and then it was like, what does this mean? What even is endometriosis? And the next day, so that was a Sunday, so the next day they did emergency surgery to remove it. And along with it went half of my left ovary. And they also found that there was endometriosis everywhere. So they did a massive clean out. And the recovery from the surgery was really, really full on. It was a really intense time for us. And, I took the advice of my doctor. I did what she said to do, and I went onto the pill, and that was meant to help with my symptoms. So I was very much in fear. And then, we had our wedding, and it was all fun and all that kind of stuff. And then we decided, okay, I've got this reproductive challenge, so let's think about having children sooner rather than later. So we spent 5 years and a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of emotion on IVF and trying to conceive. And we did 2 rounds of IVF that were a fully stimulated cycle. So anyone who knows about IVF, that's where you have the injections and you have the surgery and they get eggs. And across those 2 full rounds, we got 3 viable eggs. As a 25-year-old woman, that's pretty devastating. There wasn't much there. And I had 2 different doctors, and both of them said to me, look, Kate, the eggs that we got that are viable, they're not even really that great. The quality is really poor. And it was devastating, right? That's really devastating to hear at 25. And people would always say to me, oh, okay, it's at least you've got your age on your side. But I knew deep down that if that's what I got at 25, I don't have that much time. How are we going to make this work? And, that obviously really shook me. And my husband and I went through a massive overhaul of our lives. And we were already pretty healthy, but we prioritized organic. I cut back on work. I made sure that I was doing lots of things to relieve stress. So it was all about yoga and meditation. I had a career change. We literally overhauled our life to try and have a baby, right? That was our goal, and it was what we both really wanted. And in that process, I found myself, which was kind of a nice bonus. But yeah, so that was our experience. And, we did the transfers with the 3 eggs, and one of them I fell and I had a really early miscarriage. So I kind of didn't even really know I was pregnant and I was losing the baby. And then we had 2 transfers that were unsuccessful. And I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional, but apparently I am. So the start of last year was the final round that we did. And after that, I had severe adrenal fatigue for the second time. And I was completely depleted. It was that bad that I had to ring my mum to come and make me lunch. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't prepare myself food. I was just there was nothing left in the tank. And I tried everything. I went to every holistic doctor. I went to normal medical doctors. I went to naturopaths, kinesiologists, nutritionists. I went to everything, and nobody could really help me. I spent a fortune. I tried all of the things. I did exactly what I was supposed to. I was still eating organic, and I just couldn't get myself out of this slump of adrenal fatigue. And then I was introduced to our product. So my best friend started taking it, and I had watched her have a really great experience of increasing her energy. And I was like, okay, what's this? I haven't tried it. give me a go, like, let's give it a go. And I had really low expectations because, like I said, I felt like I had done everything. But within 2 weeks, and this, like, I share this story all the time and I forget how incredible this is, but 2 weeks later, I had my energy back and I felt incredible. And it was because finally I had found something to bridge the gap in my nutrition, and I was already healthy, but I just wasn't getting enough. Like, I just didn't have that edge, you know, and I was so far behind that I needed that to, you know, to pull me out. So two weeks later, and I felt amazing, and I was like, wow, like, I'm feeling great. My skin cleared up, my hair stopped falling out. I really felt good. My digestion was improved. And the kicker, 2 months later, we conceived a baby boy naturally. Tears, cute tears. And he is nearly 4 months old. And he is the absolute light of my life. Okay, deep breath. And, you know, I'm sitting here listening to him out in the lounge room playing with my mum, giggling and going, oh my God, this is my reality. This, you know, everything that we worked for and that we were so excited about, it happened. So, yeah. Pretty amazing experience. And, you know, just to give you like a little bit of a, you know, an insight, obviously I don't know what pregnancy and having a newborn is like without Juice Plus, but for me, I had an amazing pregnancy. Flynn was always 2 weeks ahead. He was in like the top percentile. He was always really healthy. And like Casey, when I actually had an incredible birth too, it wasn't a 2-hour labor, but it was incredible and empowering. It was everything I hoped it would be. And my midwives were like, oh my God, your placenta is amazing. Can we take photos? And I was like, okay, if you want to. And they said, you know, the same thing, like, this is what a healthy placenta looks like. This is incredible. It's perfect. I was like, okay, it's kind of weird to me, but awesome. And we've had an amazing breastfeeding experience. Yeah, it's all flowed so beautifully. And I think it's important to say these aren't miracle products. And I definitely don't think that this is a miracle fix. But for me, it bridged the gap that I couldn't fill on my own. And that is everything. You know, that was everything for us that we ever wanted. That tiny gap that needed to be filled gave me everything that I could have ever hoped for in life. So that's my story. And thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you so much, Kate. You definitely got me breaking into those box of tissues. And, you know, I know that you say that, you know, it's not a miracle fix and stuff, but it is, you know, an absolute miracle that you were able to conceive naturally, just within months of being on those products. Like, how does that happen? You know, some people spend hundreds of dollars going through IVF. They see all these specialists and stuff and nothing works. And then fruit and veggies, hello, you know. And so thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm really, really grateful for that. So we have another mama here, a mama to be actually. So she is just about due with her baby any day now, Sarah. So Sarah has an amazing pregnancy stories to share with us as well. So Sarah, would you love to take yourself off mute and share with us your lovely journey, gorgeous?
Oh, hey guys. Yeah, so my name is Sarah. Kate, I did not know your story and you almost just got me bawling my eyes out. I had to pull myself together as well. So that's amazing. So happy for you. And I think you guys are going to hear like a lot of incredible stories on this event today that people have had with their health and healing. But I guess I could say I'm one of the lucky ones because I came across this product at exactly the right time in my life, which I'm so grateful for. 2 years ago, I was a personal trainer. I loved the idea of health and nutrition, but I wasn't exactly healthy myself. I was always getting sick. I was tired. I would fall asleep at 3 p.m. every day. Like, I could not get through the day. So I knew that I wasn't actually healthy, and I guess I went on a bit of a journey trying to figure out how nutrition can really help us heal from within. And start feeling more energetic and vibrant myself, because I just was not able to keep up with taking pre-workout every day just to be able to start my day off, whether I was going to the gym or not. So I started getting really passionate about women's health, hormones, pre and postnatal, and I started training women in that area. And at the same time, I went on my own journey of healing myself and starting to feel better as well. So these products obviously made a lot of sense to me, especially for somebody who hated vegetables but was trying to get other people to eat fruits and vegetables. It just didn't really make sense that I was trying to force it on other people, but I myself wasn't actually nourishing my body. So yeah, they just, I guess, came into my life at the right time. They bridged that gap for me. And almost instantly, I started feeling more energized. I was not getting sick as often. I just felt so much better. And I could actually get through the day. So it was pretty amazing to get those results just in the beginning. 1 year on, we were trying for a baby. So I'm very grateful for these products and being on them before I fell pregnant, because I cannot even imagine what my pregnancy would have been like if I had not have come across these products. Currently 39 weeks, so I'm literally just about to pop. I could go into labor at any second. But yeah, I guess for me, prevention is greater than cure, and that's why I'm so grateful. I just have had the most incredible pregnancy. I'm healthy. I feel amazing. I still sleep all the way through the night for now until Bubs is born, and then things may change. Yeah, and I feel great. I feel more energized than I ever have in my whole life, and I'm carrying a baby, so that's saying something. I know that a lot of people feel horrible and they're not even pregnant, and that was me. Like, I used to feel terrible every single day. So yeah, I guess for me, it's just been something that has been able to help me bridge that gap. When you're pregnant, you don't always feel like eating an abundance of fruits and veggies. So it's just great having a product that has been able to bridge that gap in my nutrient deficient lifestyle. When I don't have the perfect days, and when I do have good days, it's just an added bonus as well. So I know that there's a lot of people out there who accept feeling a little bit less than okay, even at the best of times. And all I would say is just, it's not a magic pill. It's not a miracle cure for anything. But when you flood your body with the goodness of whole food nutrition every day, you can feel great. And being pregnant is not an excuse to just be like a sloth. You can really feel good and be amazing. And I'm really looking forward to giving birth and then being able to nourish my baby via my breast milk with these great nutrients as well. So I know that he's going to be getting all of the goodness that I'm getting. And for somebody who values health so highly, for me and my family, it's just a product that we will take for the rest of our lives.
Thank you, Sarah. You're looking so glowing and beautiful, and thick, luscious hair, wonderful. And, good luck.
Is that crazy?
Good luck on the next week or even the next few days. When Bubba does come, we want to see pictures. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thanks, Susie.
So we have share number 4 coming up. So Alicia has an amazing story. Now, I haven't known her a long time, but when she shared her story with me, my tissues came out again. So Alicia, would you like to take yourself off mute and please share with us your journey?
Hi, everyone. So my story, I actually thought I would be one of the ones that wouldn't bring on so many tears, but it has been a pretty emotional journey in some respects, I suppose. I was lucky enough, my story isn't so much about fertility and more about just some hormonal issues I was having along the way. So I suffer from PCOS, or polycystic ovaries, as well. But yeah, I was fortunate enough that I had already had my 2 children when I found that out. So I think I'd always had hormone problems though. Like someone said, I think it was Kate earlier, I had a dermoid cyst on my left ovary, not as big as Kate's, but I had that taken out in about 2010. And I always sort of thought that my IBS and my hormonal issues were kind of related to that, and I just kind of was stuck with it and had to put up with it. So yeah, after my children, I did suffer a bit of postnatal depression, especially with my first one. We had quite a traumatic birth. I wasn't on Juice Plus at that stage. Perhaps I should have been, and it might have helped out. But it was a pretty traumatic birth. I ended up having a Caesar, emergency Caesar, and then under general anaesthetic because they couldn't get the spinal block in. So I wasn't awake when he was born, and then when I woke up, I was hemorrhaging and I lost 2 litres of blood. And yeah, he had a lot of issues when he was little with colic and a terrible sleeper and all that kind of thing. So I think between the lack of bonding a bit there and all that, I had a bit of postnatal depression, and I was sort of starting to get over that when we had the second one. And yeah, but I think I never really got my energy back or anything, and I was still having all sorts of hormonal issues, and along with the gut problems as well. So I went to the doctor, and that's when they discovered I had polycystic ovaries. And basically the answer that I got about that was, oh, well, you've had your 2 kids, did you want any more kids? And I said, no, we were stopping at 2. And she said, oh, well, not much we can do then. You've got your polycystic ovaries kind of thing. We can put you on the pill if you want to, but I didn't want to go back on the pill because I knew that made my IBS worse. So I was just kind of, that's all the information she could give me. I was just kind of stuck with it. Then because I went and did a bit of Dr. Google, and the best thing for polycystic ovaries that they recommend is good diet and exercise. So I started looking into that a bit more because I also needed to sort out my gut issues. And I saw a naturopath who helped me through all my gut issues really well. That was great. But then she spent a long time giving me lots of herbs and potions and things like that for quite a few months, and I just was not getting anywhere. I was still exhausted. My cycles were anywhere from 22 to 39 days, really unpredictable. About day 16 of my cycle, I'd get like a little pot belly, which would just stay there until I bled. And then my skin was terrible, and I was like, I'm 35, I shouldn't have such terrible skin. I was cranky, I was emotional. When I had my period, it'd be 6 or 7 days of really heavy, painful periods, and yeah, it was getting me down along with the IBS. I wasn't being a good mum. I wasn't being a good wife. I just wasn't a nice person to be around, really. And yeah, so I needed to do something. And yeah, as I said, the naturopath, I wasn't really getting anywhere, unfortunately, with the hormone and the energy side of things. And I ran into Stacey, who's going to be speaking on here today also. I'd met her at my antenatal group with our eldest boys, and I'd only really kept up with her on Facebook, but ran into her at swimming, and she said that she was on these products, and I've been kind of keeping an eye on her on Facebook anyway, and she looked amazing. And I thought, well, I'll try anything. I'm ready to try anything. And so yeah, I got onto the premium capsules, and within the first week or so, I felt amazing, had so much more energy. And then, sorry buddy, it's still on there. Sorry, I had so much more energy within the first week or so. That first month, I didn't get all those other horrible symptoms. I didn't get the bloating. I didn't get the heaviness or the moods. Yeah, my husband said I wasn't such a cranky bitch anymore, which was nice. So I had so much more energy, and didn't have those heavy horrible periods, and my skin was improving. And I've been on them for almost 12 months now, and every month my cycle is 28, 29 days. Where, like, as I said before, it was anywhere from 22 to 39, crazy. So yeah, all my symptoms with the PCOS have gone. I haven't actually had a scan or anything to find out what's going on with a little cyst or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had an ultrasound that they would have been shrinking, because all of my symptoms are gone. And yeah, I just love the products, and I love the products for the kids too. They've had great immunity and everything as well. So yeah, that's my story.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Hello, gorgeous. Hello. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So, like I said, this event is designed to cover as many topics around fertility, periods, menstruations, and you name it. It's all part of womanhood, motherhood, isn't it? So, if you love the story so far, then stay tuned, because we've got some more amazing stories coming up. So, So Tasha, a beautiful Tasha, she is coming on and she's going to share with us probably a nice range of topics that she's actually struggled through, but she's also triumphed at the end. So Tasha, would you love to take yourself off mute and share with us your beautiful journey?
Thank you so much, Susie. It's such an honor to share today. I'll just double check, am I on? Can you hear me? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so my name's Tasha and I'm coming to you from New Zealand. So I hope everyone is having a good day. I'm not going to cry. I'll try not to cry. But yeah, backtrack. I'd always had low iron and an imbalance in my hormone. Something the doctors, when I moved to New Zealand in 2005, they said that to me, and that's the first time I heard about it. And it showed up in my health at the time as cystic acne, had, irregular cycles here and there. And my body did crash at one stage and I suffered depression with that. And my doctors had prescribed me Provera to make up for the hormones that I wasn't making. And that just I had the bad side effects and my moods were crazy. It was just not good. And so I was like, I don't want to take this medication stuff. I want to try and get my body healing naturally. Like, I'm sure it can do that itself. So I didn't really take much notice of it. In 2011, we welcomed our first child, and it was from then on that symptoms just started to show more and more, and it just increased more and more. I had become obese. I'd gained 40 kgs, first baby. I was just at home enjoying life. So I had gained on 40 kgs. Doctors had diagnosed me as obese. And I had all the symptoms of PCOS, like Ellie shared at the beginning. Like, I had all the symptoms. I kept going to the doctors and they said the same thing for me. And I don't know, but my doctor in New Zealand said to me she can't diagnose me with PCOS, that I had to go to a specialist. And I was just like, no, that's a bit too much. I can't go, I can't afford that and all that kind of stuff. So I just went on Facebook and tried to find PCOS groups to identify with people who are going through the same thing as me, and I did. And so they would recommend vitamins, and everyone was going through what I was going through, but they had PCOS and I just wasn't diagnosed with it. I just didn't have the hair excessive hair. So whatever vitamins they said and recommended, I took on board and I followed their journeys as well. And so, the doctor said to me, if I lose weight, weight loss was the key for my better health. If I lose the weight because I don't want to take the medication or the pill, that's my go-to. I have to try and lose the weight. So, I looked to nutrition and to exercise to try and lose the weight. I came to the understanding that white sugar was so bad for my health, so I cut that out. Cut out white flour and cooking oil were 3 staple foods in our diet that we always had, that I had to eliminate. But if you with hormone struggle, it's like you can't lose weight. Like you're going to gain the weight, you're going to lose the weight, you're going to gain the weight, you're going to lose the weight. So my weight loss was always up and down. And 5 years on from our first baby, and everyone around me, well, not everyone around me, but a lot of people were just saying, just try and lose the weight, Tasha, and you'll have another baby. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying, I'm eating good, I'm trying, but I can't lose the weight. And so I'm just trying to keep on track here. 2016, so this is 6 years then from my first child, my woman's health and my reproductive health had just come to its worst. So from January 2016 and throughout that whole year, I was the bleeding woman. Like, I was bleeding before, but that year I was heavy, clotting, bleeding 3 weeks every month. On a good roll, I would have a 2-week break from bleeding. And again, it's not just bleeding, it was heavy clotting. I was wearing diapers at some stages. And so I was limited in what I could do. And I couldn't really tell everyone what was going on. And so that really affected I guess, me and my health. And the doctors had said that I have endometrial polyps that are causing the bleeding, so I'd have to be booked to surgery to remove that. But with any woman's health issue, I'm sure we can all resonate. I just was feeling like, what kind of woman am I if my womanhood is not working properly? So, having to go through that as well. And so it was, we had kind of thought, okay, maybe we're not having another baby, like these health issues are really like in the way. And I was introduced to Juice Plus in December 2016, at my worst year yet. And I was really skeptical about it. I was like, no, I've got my vitamins. Like, you don't understand PCOS. Like, you don't understand this bleeding stuff I'm going through. I've got these people who've gone through what I've gone through and are taking these things. But my sister who introduced it to me said, are you reaching your health goals though? And I wasn't losing weight and I wasn't getting better. So I said, oh no, okay, let's give this a go. And so when I started taking Juice Plus, on the first month, my period was, I wasn't bleeding for 3 weeks. I was only bleeding for 1 week. I was still clotting, but I was only bleeding for 1 week. And I thought, whoa, this is good. Let's see what the next month brings. And I thought it's all going to come back again. And so in the second month, it was the same. My periods had gone down to just 1 week rather than 3 weeks. And the clotting was going, less and less and less, and my periods were getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And I said to my husband, wow, like I'm getting better. 4 months onto the product, my iron levels had increased. And I really felt good, and I really had felt good. And so I said to my husband, we could have a baby in the next 2 years. Like, I'm feeling good. And so June came along and I had no period. And I was like, oh no, like it's all going to come back again. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I might be pregnant. I was like, nah. But I just bought the test anyways because I had always done that. Like, I always bought it anyways. And so I took the test and I showed the 2 lines in that I was pregnant. And I was like, no way. No, this can't be. So I dissed it and I got another test and it showed again that I was pregnant. And then I was like, no. I had to go to the doctors anyways that same week because we were booked for surgery to remove these polyps that were causing my bleeding. And when I went to the doctors and the doctor said, oh, we can't do the surgery, you're pregnant. And I was like, I'm pregnant? Like, I'm pregnant? And they said, yeah, you're pregnant. And at first I was kind of like, oh, but what about if I bleed again? I was just, because it was so normal for me to bleed, that I was really careful in those first few weeks, just like kind of on the edge, like, am I pregnant? But I am. In January this year, I gave birth to our beautiful, beautiful boy, Samuel. And I will tell you that throughout my pregnancy, my cravings were very, very, very healthy. Like I would be craving for salads. In my first pregnancy, I was craving frozen Coke. So I saw the difference in my cravings. I spent $50 at Tank because of my cravings for salad and I couldn't be bothered making my own. So my cravings were very healthy. I was still very energetic. And my midwife's main concern for me was my bleeding and how much blood loss I will have after giving birth. And so when I gave birth to our son and I asked the doctors I was like, did I lose a lot of blood? Because I had 2 blood transfusions in the first one. And they said, no, your blood loss was normal. And so that was, it really showed to me that my body, had come around and that I am so healthy. And my baby is a healthy baby boy. And the breast milk, the complete, a testament as well to that has really helped with the milk supply as well. And I guess what I want to sum up with in my share is that, like, my body wasn't functioning properly. The role of hormone health is, function for our body. and my body wasn't functioning properly. And I always think and use the analogy, like if a car that is a non-living thing needs the right fuel, how much more our bodies that are a living, amazing machine needs the right fuel for our bodies, and that's fruit and veg. And that's what Juice Plus made sense to me when I found out I was pregnant. I was just like, I've just got the right fuel that my body needed now to function properly. And so not only is that for me, but for my baby as well. So I'm forever grateful, you know, that my prayers were answered. I have my miracle baby, and someone shared this with me, because I dread to think that I would still be where I was in two years ago if I didn't take this. And I wouldn't have my Samuel. So thank you. That's what I wanted to share. That it's definitely the right fuel our body needs. And as women, I really believe if you have daughters, to start them on early on this and to help their women's health from a very early age. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Tasha, for sharing your story today. And I'm so sorry to hear that you went through such a bad period of time, you know, earlier on, you know, prior to Juice Plus. But I'm also really grateful and so excited that Juice Plus has in somewhat saved you as well, and is able to, you know, fill your body with the right nutrition so that you can live a healthier and better life as well with your family. So thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so we've got another lovely lady, Sky. She's also got a lovely story to share with us. So Sky, could you please share with us your journey? Thank you.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah, hi, my name's Sky. I started my Juice Plus journey at the end of 2016. This was the start of my second trimester of pregnancy. During this pregnancy, I was super scared. Like, I had severe anxiety because I just was waiting, you know, for obstetricians and sonographers to tell me that I lost another baby. I've lost 6 babies altogether, and I'm already getting emotional before I even started. Yeah, you know, in endeavour to have our family. I haven't never had an early, what's classed as an early miscarriage. They've always been late miscarriages. So that's between 12 and 20 weeks gestation. We lost our little girl, Evangeline, at 20 weeks in 2015. And I was diagnosed with Graves' disease at that point. So that's an autoimmune disease of the thyroid. I actually had nearly every symptom you could think of. I got the common cold, I got tummy bugs, I got like everything that was going around because my immune system was just so poor. So I was basically debilitated by this disease. I had severe migraines, poor digestion, chronic fatigue, I had tremors, I had mood swings. Like one day I was super happy. You probably thought I had like something else, but just anything you can think of that might be a symptom of any other, you know, cold, flu disease is a symptom of Graves' disease. Yeah, I had hand tremors where I couldn't control my body. My heart rate would fluctuate over 200 beats per minute, and that would be at rest. I couldn't make it up the stairs sometimes, and I'll just lie there waiting for someone to help me back to bed. I was actually quite fit and healthy, so honestly it just didn't make sense to me. I was put on synthetic medications to try to get my disease under control, and to try and alleviate some of the symptoms. I'm actually one of the 3% of the population that have a physical reaction to these medications, as it actually feels like your body is being poisoned. 6 months after we lost our Evangeline, I fell pregnant again. This time it was a little boy. I felt some pain on Christmas Day and I thought this really can't be good. So we had a scan a few days later and he had passed at 11 weeks. So that was baby number 6 that we lost. Still trying to complete our family 6 months later, I fell pregnant again. This was my 8th pregnancy. from week 5, I was really, really sick, and not just your normal morning sickness. I had severe morning sickness. It became worse and worse each day until week 8. And I lost about 10 kilos within about 10 days. I was diagnosed with hypermesis gravidarum. I couldn't eat or drink. I just couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't even try to consume anything. I ended up in hospital. I spent 5 weeks in and out of hospital. I couldn't work. I was needing the drip constantly to try and get fluids into me and to get some kind of sustenance, to try and get my medication into me, to try and, you know, alleviate hypermesis, trying to alleviate my graves, and all the other things that came with pregnancy. I was absolutely consumed by anxiety at this point. I literally was holding my breath like every minute of every day. My heart rate would just be super high because the amount of stress that I would be under just was waiting the next scan to either make sure everything was okay or to tell me that it wasn't going to happen again. My obstetrician gave us like an ease of mind scan at this point, just after I've been in hospital, and honestly things weren't looking great. The heart rate was lowering, and we actually lost one of our babies because we were having twins. I just keep counting down those seconds, honestly, between each scan. And at this point I was introduced to these amazing capsules. I was skeptical. I was, you know, at this point I've lost 6 babies. I just lost one of our twins. Things aren't looking great for the other one. I was just like, I'm seriously not going to be trying anything that potentially could harm my pregnancy. But I did a lot of research and I had some faith, and I took a leap and just was like, really, honestly, I've got nothing to lose, because I never had an answer for why I've lost any of my babies. I don't have polycystic ovaries. I was diagnosed late with Graves. Graves doesn't necessarily stop you from having babies, but we spent thousands on different tests to find out, you know, why can't I carry children? And still no answer to this day. But like I said, I took a leap of faith with these capsules, and within a couple of weeks, my hypermesis, like my morning sickness, started to ease. I could start to eat again slowly. I could actually keep water down. I could get hydrated. So that was a good sign. Probably about 2 weeks into it, my migraine started to go from Graves, and just over maybe a month, my Graves symptoms started to ease. And over 3 months altogether, I actually went into remission from Graves. So all my blood work came back amazing, and my endocrinologist was very excited for me. I had spent, 2 years on synthetic medications beforehand, and they just weren't doing anything for me. This product's also helped me have an amazing pregnancy this time around. So I was still dancing, and I was still doing ballet and contemporary, and I was still rolling around on the floor and teaching up till a couple of days before he was born. My energy levels were just like no other pregnancy, because every other time I've just been absolutely lethargic and just on the ground. It's like I just can't cope. But yeah, the amount of energy that I had in this pregnancy was just amazing. It was nothing short of stressful, especially in the beginning. But yeah, it was just a very, very positive experience. And besides having a big belly and, you know, all those little wriggles inside, I actually didn't feel like I was pregnant because of all the amount of energy that I actually had. I could get through my day, and all my symptoms had gone. It was just amazing. So I had a successful pregnancy. I had a little boy, a gorgeous little boy. He's now 15 months old, and he's walking and he's getting up to mischief. He's gorgeous and he's cheeky, and he's our beautiful little rainbow. So I'm forever grateful for these products, and my family will always take them just because of how much they've helped us. So thanks to JP, and thanks Susie for letting me share, and thanks to everybody for listening.
Thank you, Sky. Oh, well, I don't know if you've been reading the comments, but I think you got everybody into tears. Like, we can all feel your pain, but we can feel, you know, the relief at the end as well, you know, that you had successful pregnancy with your baby boy at the end. And, you know, it's going to take me a while to get together, but yeah, I love your story, and I've probably heard it 1,000 times, you know, in the times that I've known you, and you still, you know, really touched so many hearts with that story. And, you know, it was definitely a miracle, you know, that it's happened for you. So I'm really glad that you were able to have the courage and be brave to share with us today. So thank you so much, darling. Okay, so we have just a couple more shares before we start finishing up. So Stacey is another gorgeous lady, and I would love her to share with you. So Stacey, could you please share with us your story? Thank you.
Thanks, Susie. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on. I don't know how I'm going to follow on from that story. That was amazing. So I've been on my health journey for about 2.5 years now. I started, I guess, looking into nutrition and really looking at, I guess I was all into the health documentaries as well. The reason I was looking into that though is because I had experienced quite a lot of heartache in the 12 months prior to that. We were trying for our third baby. I will say third because our first, unfortunately, we lost at 21 weeks, a little boy. That was quite a few years beforehand. And then we had our second baby, who was smooth sailing, really first month fell pregnant, really a great pregnancy. So we didn't quite know what to expect for our third. In the first month, we fell pregnant again, and we thought, how lucky are we? This is amazing. But unfortunately, 4 weeks later, we experienced a miscarriage. We know miscarriage is quite common. So we, I guess kept trying. 3 months later, fell pregnant again. 2 lines, but unfortunately a couple of days later we found out that wasn't meant to be either. So I really knew there was something not right. I decided to go and see a doctor, but in the background I was still looking into my health, and I was eating well. I don't eat McDonald's. After watching those documentaries, there was no way I'm touching KFC or McDonald's again. But there was something not right, and funnily enough, a psychic told me I'm deficient. And she looked at me and said, "You're really deficient in something." Even though I didn't get 2 lines again, I just felt that maybe I almost fell again, and my body just wasn't holding on to pregnancies. So the thing that really kind of frustrates me about hearing all of these stories is that not one doctor asked me what I was eating. Not one doctor. I love doctors; they're amazing, but and I love my obstetrician, but she never questioned my diet. And when the psychic said I was deficient in something, and those little magic beads popped up in my newsfeed, I said to my husband, "I'm just going to try these." So anyway, within a few weeks, my skin, I've had more energy, all of those things that the girls have shared as well. But at the 4-month point, 2 lines again of taking the capsules. So we didn't quite want to get too excited, as people have lost babies before. It's really hard. You are so stressed the whole time. You don't know whether we've lost one at 21, we've lost one at 6. It was a very stressful, nerve-wracking pregnancy. But my obstetrician said to me, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it." Actually, I forgot she actually prescribed Clomid for me. I've still got the prescription here. She prescribed Clomid, and the 2 days before I was meant to go for a blood test for the Clomid was when I got the 2 lines. So it was very exciting. But yeah, she said, whatever you're doing, continue doing it. My bloods were amazing. And yeah, I've had him 11 months ago now, beautiful little boy. And I really think that my body just was not getting the nutrients to hold on to pregnancies. It wasn't supported to hold those pregnancies. And post birth, I had to have another C-section because I had one with my other son who's 5. Post C-section recovery was amazing. Dealing with broken sleep was so much better than with my other son. There was also something I wanted to touch on too. I have just recently thought back to my 5-year-old and his first year at daycare. He had a lot of sicknesses, chest infections, ear infections, all of that sort of thing, and he had about 3 to 4 courses of antibiotics in that first year. My 11-month-old has not had 1 course of antibiotics. I've breastfed him, and apparently the nutrients will go through to your breast milk to your baby. And I've done a lot of reading on gut health and the microbiome and all that, and to not have a course of antibiotics, you're really doing, not do it for you, but I just think for your children and for your husbands or your family, like this product can really do so many things for them as well. So yeah, that's basically my story. I think back now and think, what if I hadn't found these? What if I had to go through IVF, which is the road that we were going down? What kind of strain would it have on my body and on our relationship and all that sort of thing? So if you're just thinking about it, just try it, because there are so many things that could improve for you.
Thank you, Stacey. Really appreciate and so grateful for your time that you took today to share your story. And, you know, that's what we've been saying all along. You know, the power lies in the fruit and veggies, in these capsules and nutrition into your diet to make the difference. So thank you so much for your time. Okay, so we have a lovely lady, Vic, who's going to share with us her journey as well. So Vic, if you could come off mute and share with us your story, and I'll spotlight you, darling.
Cool. So hi everyone, it's amazing to hear these stories, and I can't believe that we go so long without these products and without realising what good they could be doing for our bodies. But I've got a little story, so I'll start at the beginning. So, you know, I've always had really, really heavy periods and just hated it, basically, hated being female. So at 16, I went on the pill, which was the done thing back then to help control things. But looking at it now, worst thing I could have possibly done. But it was the done thing, and it did ease my problem. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to do this for the rest of your life. So it is something foreign in your body it's not good for you. Anyway, so when I was about 24 or 25, I had an irregular pap smear and had to have a LETS procedure, which is generally a simple procedure, but unfortunately for me, it wasn't. So I had a lot more issues just from this simple thing, and ended up hemorrhaging and all of that sort of stuff. So I had a lot of damage down there. So, and was kind of told, may not fall pregnant, just got to see how life goes. So at 29, my partner and I decided that, considering my past, that we'd start trying for a baby. And anyway, I stopped taking the pill, but strangely enough, we literally fell pregnant straight away, which is a blessing, absolutely. But my body didn't have time to be normal. It didn't have time to recover from being on the pill, or, you know, just be and get myself well. But so after my pregnancy, which I was sick for pretty much the entire time, and breastfeeding was fine, but my body was a mess. I bled for 8 weeks after having Annabelle. And so then again, I wanted to give my body the time to recover and just be and see, you know, try and work out what my body needed to be right. When Annabelle was about 18 months, we I contacted Tony Forbes, who I've known for a very long time, after seeing her posts on Facebook for Juice Plus. And I was really keen to give it a go, but at that time I thought, oh, we're just not in that financial position. Let's just put it off, which was the most silliest thing I've ever done in my life, because at that point we decided to start trying for another baby, and it was just no success. I was having really heavy periods, again, a lot of pain during my periods, a lot of pain during ovulation. I just was a mess. I was very pale all the time, and I did not look like myself. I'm usually full of energy and playing sports and this and that, and it just was not happening. And so after having had enough of what felt like continual bleeding, pain, I just went, no, that's it. We're doing Juice Plus. So, and we had decided at that point that if we weren't going to fall pregnant again, then we were blessed with our daughter, and that was it. And after 2 weeks, I think it was, after taking Juice Plus, I took the premium. My energy had lifted, and then I had no pain during ovulation. It had literally just stopped straight away, and it was just, I thought, oh God, if there's no pain during periods, then I want a winner here. Like, I just felt like I was just in pain constantly. Anyway, eventually, after a little while, my bleeding did reduce, which gives you a whole new light on life. I was out playing with Annabelle again, and you're not afraid to go out in public. Like, it was to the point where I just, didn't want to go out for lunch, didn't want to do anything. So I also started to follow the JVT recipes as well, and really started to look after myself because my energy had lifted. And it basically resulted in a very relaxed, happy household, just because I was feeling better in myself. Anyway, so after 4 months on Juice Plus, right on the 4-month dot, we fell pregnant with our twin girls. And they're an absolute blessing. They're funny little beings. They're 13 weeks now, and it was all completely natural. And I had a great pregnancy. I was a little bit sick at the start, which is a given because I had 2 babies in me, and cravings were great. There was a lot of salads, avocado, lemon, everything like that. So after that great pregnancy, I carried them up to 37 plus 4 weeks, and I'm not a huge person, and they were both very, very healthy bubs. Millie was 6 pound 15 and Gracie was 6 pound 1, and they're really, really settled little babies, so they sleep through, which is incredible. I did breastfeed for a little while, as much as I could, but it's difficult to keep up with them, especially currently now they're going through a growth spurt. So every 2 hours, if I'm lucky, there's a bottle in my hand. But really, if I wasn't taking Juice Plus, I wouldn't be able to keep up with them. It is a constant thing. Having a 3-year-old and 2 13-week-old babies is just insane. But somehow we manage it. My partner works away, and, they're all really happy little girls, and I couldn't thank them enough. I could not recommend the product more. And also, during the pregnancy, those shakes were incredible. They were like a lifesaver. And I do find it now as well. As the girls are getting older, I'm getting less and less time to myself. So I have to, keep fueling my body. Even if it is a shake in the middle of the day, then fine. The JBT recipes, so good at freezing and whatnot. So I cook once a week and that's it. We get what we want out of the freezer. And also during the pregnancy, I never got one stretch mark, which is insane. It's like I was stretched, like there was no doubt about it. I couldn't have gone any further. And I think that's probably due to Juice Plus as well, the berries for your skin. My skin was great. Everything was great. My stomach muscles held out, and I did have to have a C-section, but that was due to other issues. But my recovery was brilliant. I've been up and going since they were 2 weeks old. Like it's, you know, it's unreal. And I mean, you do have to keep going when you've got to entertain a very lively 3-year-old. So I just I could not thank the product enough for what we've got. We're so blessed to have 3 amazing little girls, and they will absolutely be following in our footsteps and taking the product as well. So I could not recommend it more. So that's my story, and thank you for letting me share.
Wow, Vicky, what a super mama you are. My goodness. And oh my goodness. You know, it's fantastic, you know, how Juice Plus has helped you. And you talk about the JBT program, which is what we call the Juicy Body Transformation. And it's a program that we offer alongside with our products that is full of, you know, clean eating recipes, and, you know, they're deprivation free, they're really easy. And, you know, the fact that Vicky can actually easily, you know, do one time of cooking, put them in the freezer, and it makes her life so much easier, especially with her hubby being away. So thank you so much for sharing your story and taking that time today. So we've got one last story for you today before we wrap up, and I'm really excited about this one. My gorgeous friend Kaz is going to be sharing her journey with us, and she's also heavily pregnant and about to have a baby soon too. So Kaz, would you like to take yourself off mute and share with us your lovely journey?
Oh, Susie, calm down. I'm 32 weeks, love. We've got time. Let's keep it in and grow it a bit more. Hi, guys. I'm Kaz. I'm pregnant with my 3rd at the moment, but I'd like to go back before Juice Plus, because before Juice Plus, I did have my first baby boy. It was my 2nd pregnancy. I had what's called a missed miscarriage with my first, where I turned up to the 12-week scan and I didn't realise, but I had lost my baby at 8 weeks and 6 days. And you know what? You go in there, you're so excited and everything, and then just the look on their face, you know something's wrong. And you know, I am very, very blessed. There's been amazing stories. Thank you for everyone that's shared, who have had PCOS, endometriosis, trouble getting pregnant. And I am what is probably considered a normal pregnancy person. I haven't had all those stresses and strains, but I am only human, and I had the stresses and strains of pregnancy. So with my first, I was so tired, and, you know, just the normal things that you found with a pregnancy. My birth was terrible, absolutely terrible. He was posterior, and I had low iron and low vitamin D. So they were just normal for pregnancy as far as I knew, and I didn't know any better. When I fell pregnant with my 2nd, I was expecting all those things as well. As one of the ladies said though, I didn't realise what a toll having a toddler would make, jumping around, running around, as well as being pregnant. So before I found the product, he was trying to get me out of bed in the morning. And I said to him, look, honey, I can't get out of bed until 7 a.m. I've put it down, that's my time. I'm not getting out of bed until then. And he would be in my bed from sometimes 5 o'clock. And, you know, that's just what mums do, right? He still had a sleep, so I'd then have a sleep with him for 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon. That was my saving grace. and then I would be in bed by 7 o'clock at night. I was working 3 days a week, and I was boxing 3 days a week, and I was really struggling. I don't know how I did it, to be honest. I didn't have the energy to sustain this and keep this going, but I didn't want to give up the thing that I loved most, which was my boxing and my exercise. I found this product by watching an amazing lady bouncing around boxing. She had a little one with her. She had so much energy, and I literally asked her, and please mind my French, but I asked her what drugs she was on, and I say mind my French because this is a lady of pure health, pure, whole food nutrition, who would never even think of putting something synthetic into her body, let alone drugs. So, sorry, I've just got my little one. Come on. Okay, can you be quiet while Mum talks? Listen. So, not only did, that was sort of a swear word for her. So she told me about this product, and I was really skeptical about it, because I'm like, how do they just put fruits and veggies into a capsule? What's the capsule made of? And all that sort of stuff as well. And I scrutinized this product so deeply, because although I was happy to take things, well, not really happy, but when you're pregnant, you really, really look into things and look into whether it's going to be safe, because not only are you looking after yourself, but you're looking after this beautiful little thing growing inside you as well. And the thought of something happening is just beyond comprehension. So I scrutinized it, and I'm thankful I did, because I know now with absolute certainty that not only this is a product that is safe for breastfeeding and pregnancy, but I'm happy to recommend it to others as well and be confident in doing that. When I started taking the product, it was only about a week after, and I started noticing the energy come on board, and this is a really common thing for most people. Now, the thing is, we all talk about this increase of energy, but to give you an idea, sit here. My energy went from, not being able to get out of bed at 7 a.m. to jumping out of bed before my little boy was even awake, and having a shower and getting ready to go for the day, being ready by 6 a.m. I was cutting out those sleeps during the day. I had no sleeps, so I was then cutting out another 2 to 3 hours of sleeps a day. And then I wasn't going to bed. Hubby would tell me, he'd say, look, love, are you going to come to bed? And I was like, yeah. What's the time? Oh, 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, I suppose I should go to bed. I didn't feel like I needed to go to bed. So just to give you an idea of the energy that we, do experience, or most people do experience. So I've got a little one climbing up the back of me. That sort of gives you an idea there. I was able to carry on boxing right up until the morning I was supposed to have this little one, Heath. And the morning I was ready to go to boxing, and his waters broke, and I went in and had, I got sent home, no contractions, and then went in later once contractions started, and I had the most empowering water birth, the most empowering journey of birth I could ever imagine. Instead of cluster feeding all night like I had to with my first, because he was so unsettled and he just wanted milk, I didn't sleep that first night, because I just watched this little man, and he was so content and so happy. And it does bring tears to my eyes, because when your children are happy, you're happy. And as you can see, he's full of energy. With my first, I didn't really have milk. I did persist and I did get through it, but I never felt as though I was full. I never felt as though I had that milk. With this one, the poor thing, he would choke because my milk was so much and so fast that we had to slow it down, and I had to lay down so that he didn't get on, take too much on board. So I'm really excited for this one. I've had an amazing pregnancy so far with this one in the sense of my energy. But I do want to share with you, this pregnancy has been quite different. Fingers crossed, we're hoping it's a girl. It means it's a girl, but we'll see. I was really, really sick in my first trimester up until about 14 to 16 weeks. And to a point where I couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't even keep my capsules down. And I hate to say this, but I went off my capsules for 3 weeks. I tried, but they would come back up. And the effects of not being able to keep them down was amazing. I just couldn't get out of bed. I had no energy. I couldn't keep anything down, but I couldn't keep up with my boys either. And I couldn't enjoy them, and I couldn't be the mum that I wanted to be. And we talk about energy, but it's what it gives to you, it's what it allows you to be as a mum, to have that energy. So I knew exactly what it was. I got back on the capsules. I found a way, more importantly, I didn't get back on them, I found a way to keep them down. And from that time, my pregnancy changed. I was still sick. I still struggled to keep things down, but I could function throughout the day, and I did. And I am proud to say, and not for any other reason than that I want an amazing birth with this one, is that I've been able to keep my exercise up, and I exercise 4 to 6 times a week, so that I have an amazing birth, so that I have an amazing pregnancy, and most importantly, so that I have an amazing post-birth experience and can run around with my boys, because that's what means the most to me. So I'm pretty normal in the sense, well, not normal, we're all normal, but I don't have, or I haven't had all those struggles, that others have, and I'm so blessed, because I don't know if I could cope the way that you all have. But I just wanted to let you know that even for someone who doesn't have these products has been so immensely amazing in my life and have made such a huge difference. So thank you for letting me share, and I'm sorry about my little man wanting to read you a story.
That's okay. Thank you, Kaz, and I love seeing everybody's little ones. Hello, gorgeous. So thank you so much. So that wraps up all of our beautiful, amazing stories for today. And I know that we went a bit over time, and I'm sorry about that, but I just love it, and I'm so super grateful for these stories, because that is the magic behind the products. That it's not just about fruit and vegetables. Behind those products comes thousands of stories that are full of passion. They're full of pain and struggles, and that there's often more than enough success at the end of it as well. And that is the aim of this video. So if you've taken the time to watch it today, or to take the recording and watch it, then I thank you so much for doing that. So thank you so much for everyone who's jumped on. And if you were ever curious about what these products are in the program, or you want to get onto them, then please reach out to the person that invited you to watch this event. And once again, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.